just can't kidnap a guy and take his things. That's so illegal.
Well, sure we can. Victor Kershaw is a criminal prick who deserves bad stuff to happen to him.
We go through with this. Nobody gets hurt, right?
Oh, man. We snatch him.
There he is!
We grab him. He signs a few signatures. We give him a protein shake. He doesn't even know what happened. I watched a lot of movies, Paul.
All right, man. Pain and Gain.
Yeah.
3 weeks late, but we saw it finally. Did you like it?
Yeah, dude, I fucking loved it.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
You been hitting the gym?
Yeah, dude, it's what this movie did.
Voice got deep as hell,
After
man.
that movie, I went
just
to the
made
gym.
you swole, turned you
Yeah.
into a man and shit.
Fuck yeah. My name is now Jeff, not Jeef.
Just in case you guys can't tell, this is not Jeff. It is, in fact, the fuck your name is?
My name's Pedro, man.
Oh yeah, Pedro.
Mexican
as hell, Pedro.
I was gonna make an alias, but
Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it.
So, if you all probably don't know Pedro, some of you might, but he is the kind of guy, like, if you see him walking down your sidewalk,
You will fear for your life.
Yeah.
Like, not even trying to be funny. You seriously,
you will, like, go across the street.
just in case.
I would not, I would not walk down that same block. But if you get to know Pedro, he's the fucking nerdiest,
Yeah.
thug ass looking dude I've ever met. He's wearing a Superman t-shirt right now.
I'm what happens when you mix Tupac with anime.
Because, like,
Well, I mean, that would be the Boondocks.
he has this like walk where he looks like a fucking Terminator. Like scanning the room, wondering who to kill, who to let
I
go.
will be back to kill the rest of you.
So he'll like walk in and be all like tough and shit, and then he'll like go to me like, "Yo, man, do you know that they're making Guardians of the Galaxy movie?" And I'm just like, "The fuck?"
Shit, dude, that
Hell's
is what I
Guardians of the
do.
Galaxy.
I think that's what I did.
No, that was a real story. That wasn't,
Yeah, I
that
know,
was a
that's
fake. So that's our friend Pedro, nerdiest.
I wear
ass
glasses
dude.
too, so I fit in with this podcast. Four Eyes Filmcast.
That's
or
true. Now
Film
it's,
Crew, whatever.
5 Eyes. Film Crew is
Yeah.
us. The Filmcast is the actual show.
Oh, well, fuck you.
But him and I saw Pain and Gain. And like I said, yeah, this is a late review. It's been out for, 2 or 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
This is probably not the movie you thought it was going to be.
Absolutely not.
Because if you were expecting really fun, like, action comedy, kind of like Bad Boys. Or
See,
Bad
I wouldn't
Boys
even
2.
think it was like all that action based. Like if just
Based
telling
off the
from
trailer, I thought it was going to be.
I wouldn't. I would only expect it because it's Michael Bay,
Right.
but I wouldn't expect all that much action from it.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of like other nerdy shit you've come up to me with where it's just like that it would just stop me. Oh yeah, love for
Hulk,
anime.
Spider-Man.
No, but there was like some things where you'd like mention like a film term or a certain director. It's like, how the fuck do you even know who this person is? I don't know. But
I don't
anyway.
know, dude. It'll happen. Everything we talk about is just random as hell. So.
But anyway, yeah, because it's a Michael Bay film, you would think it's a really.
You would think poor
Heavy action
storyline,
movie.
awesome effects.
But no, this is completely different from his movies. I honestly think this is like one of his best movies that he's made
It's up there.
in a long time. And the basic plot of the film is you got Mark Wahlberg playing this guy named Daniel Lugo, who is just an asshole. I mean, that's basically what he is.
You
He's
do
this-
not like him at all.
He's this meathead asshole who just wants to be the best because he likes Scarface and The Godfather.
Those are his heroes.
He's self-proclaimed heroes. Who else did he mention? It was Scarface, the guys from Godfather, and
somebody else that made it from the bottom. Rocky, I think.
and Rocky. And he thinks these are like actual people. So he's just trying to do whatever to get money and to live that life. Like
he's basically trying to attain the American dream based on his heroes.
And it's not just like, oh, I want money to spend it. When he finally gets to that point, it's like he's trying to live off like he's this fancy rich guy by like making Neighborhood Watch and getting to know all the neighbors and shit like that. It's
essentially he
funny.
wants another life.
Pretty much. Instead of just being a super
douchebag bodybuilder. Which he kind of is in real life.
So he works at
Gym.
Sun Gym. I'm not sure if that was a real place because this is based on a true story.
Yeah, they probably just made that up for story purposes.
But he works there and he he's friends with this guy named Adrian, played by Anthony Mackie, who also he's working at a taco shack. He just wants to be bigger.
That's all he wants.
He
wants to be jacked.
Actually, his entire motivation for doing this is his penis is too small. And he needs injections to get it up. That's his whole motivation. Then they bring in The Rock. Oh, I actually hate to call him that. Dwayne Johnson.
There you go.
Because he's
a good actor.
Yeah, dude, he's the best actor in this movie. In my opinion. I thought he was the best actor in this movie. But anyway,
I guess you could say that.
He's like fresh out of jail. Found Jesus and like is all about Jesus.
Like he genuinely wants to live a good life.
Yeah. But he gets pulled into this because, I mean, it's what he knows to do.
Not out of free will, by the way. Literally gets dragged into this.
It's one of those things where they convince him, telling him that no one's going to get hurt and it's going to be okay, and we deserve this money, and this guy who we're going to steal from deserves to not have this money because he's a bad guy.
Yeah. They do involve a little religious manipulation, but...
Yeah, that's true. And the guy that they steal from is played by Tony Shalhoub.
I think he did a good job.
He did a good job, too. I can't remember his character name, though. And they said it like a million times. Fuck.
I literally remember reading his name on this mailbox, hoping it would stick.
But anyway, that guy who he's a guy.
Okay, we could give a little character detail while you apparently look up his name.
Yeah, well, he's this like millionaire who half Jewish, half Cuban, half Colombian. But
generalizing Hispanics, man.
Only Cubans and Colombians. I promise you that.
Okay. Victor Kershaw.
Victor Kershaw is his character's name. So he's this millionaire who found oil in a different country, and now he's super rich, and he's an asshole too. Yeah. I mean, he isn't a good guy, but the stuff that they do to him,
it's very
like,
unwarranted.
Okay, yeah,
you're
going a little too far with this. But he owns a bunch of businesses in Miami, and Mark Wahlberg kind of just wants to get at him because he feels like he didn't work for it, which he has no idea that he started from nothing,
bottom, yeah, and
made his way to the top. So they decide we're just gonna rob this guy's everything, like
his life. Essentially,
we're gonna rob his life. We're gonna make him sign off the papers to all his businesses,
sign off his property,
his house.
Everything.
His wife is just gonna be gone. Like we're just gonna make her move.
Dude, I forgot that he even had a wife and kids because we didn't see him, did we? He just told him to leave.
It was like a photo.
Oh, okay.
About it. But yeah, they steal this guy's entire life, and the whole plot with the movie is them getting found out. Like there's this private
eye
investigator who's like looking over them.
He's retired, but
played by Ed Harris, playing a guy named Ed Dubois. I think Ed Harris is just old enough to where he's like, I can't remember my character's name. Can you please just call me Ed? So I thought it was kind of funny that his name was Ed. But anyway, he's like looking into the case because no one believes Tony Shalhoub that this actually happened. Like, yeah, sure, 3 bodybuilders dressed as ninjas and aliens stole all your shit, got you drunk, and made you blow up your own car. Yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
So he's the only cop looking after this, and
at first,
the whole thing is like, are they going to get caught, and what are they going to do now? I mean, they're just like living as millionaires, but it gets. I don't want to say what happens.
Yeah, well,
obviously, like I don't want to ruin this movie, but it gets really fucking dark.
Yeah,
I mean, like
it's a
really dark.
Well, I guess you could expect that. I mean, when they said it was based off a true story, I can see how it turns that dark, but
actually, when they said it's like based off a true story, I didn't think it would get to that point because like this is out fucking outrageous. Like, how did this even happen?
Yeah.
But no, it really is based on a true story, and they even like tell you that yes, this is still based on a true story.
Yeah, they actually show pictures and give you like updates of the actual people. Well, except for a few characters who are still alive and don't want to,
the survivors of this whole
thing.
There you go. So that's the plot of the movie, but What's good about this movie?
I thought the acting was really good. Yeah. Considering it's a Michael Bay film that usually has...
usually acting is like not...
it's not existent in his movies.
Well, it's not that it's not existent. It's just like not important to him. At least
okay, I guess
I feel
fair.
like it's not important. You know, we got all these we got fucking robots walking around the city. Why do we need actors?
Okay, yeah, I guess you could say that then. But I think everybody that was casted did a decent job. Well, not I shouldn't say decent. They actually did a pretty good job. Just based off like the approach that the film wanted to take.
Yeah.
At first, it's like it's what you expect to see, and then like it makes like a very subtle transition where you actually asked me during the movie like, dude, what the fuck happened? Like,
I know. Like, how the fuck did this happen out of nowhere? And not just that, but the characters themselves, like, they go through, like, okay,
they go through a lot of shit.
They start off as one thing, and they end up something completely different.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg, you kind of root for him at the start. I mean, like,
you're
on his side, and you think he's, like, the principal character, was like, no, he's, like, the main villain of this movie.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, normally, there's a part that, like, makes you root for him, and I think that's just the fact that it's Mark Wahlberg. And usually plays a lot of roles where you root for him. But throughout this movie, I was like, God damn, like,
what an asshole,
man.
But oh man, what was I about to say? It completely passed through my head. Fuck, what was I about to mention? Oh, besides the fact that it gets dark and we're seeing all this shit like about the plot, like what it's about. Keep in mind, this is a hilarious movie.
Yeah,
it's really it's a very dark comedy.
Yeah, you get comedic
hilarious
performances from actors I didn't expect to be hilarious. Like Anthony Mackie was hilarious.
Anthony Mackie was hilarious, man. He was probably I'd say he was like the funniest of the three.
Yeah, I was gonna say like he was probably the most likable character outside of oh there you go, Rebel Wilson, that's her name.
Yeah,
she's fucking hilarious. Both of them are actually really hilarious.
She's always really funny, and it doesn't really play off the whole thing of like, oh, she's fat. Like that's the majority of her jokes in other movies.
Yeah,
that's not what it is here. She's just like this.
She literally used Anthony Mackie.
She'd be sassy as hell.
Yeah. The Rock did I don't want to call him The Rock.
Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah. Dwayne Johnson did a good job acting too. Everybody knows he can act.
Yeah, I think this is the movie that finally showed like
he's funny.
He's funny and he's a really good actor.
Yeah,
because he almost plays a guy who's like mentally like not
like he's bipolar in a sense, dude.
Which you kind of have to be for this character who's like a super Jesus freak, but
when he goes to the dark side, he's dark.
Yeah. But it's crazy. I mean, like, it's not just, like, him being angry in The Rock. He's, like, going through, like, different emotions, like, being, like, really happy and friendly, and then,
this movie really lets him act.
And crying. It's great. He does a really, really good job. I thought he was great in it. Mark Wahlberg, he kind of just plays Mark Wahlberg at first, but he gets, like, evil, too. It's like, damn, this guy really wants to be Scarface.
Dude, he really does. I didn't even think of that.
Everyone does a really good job.
They all have good character development, as well as like character insight. Like you see their motivations. Some of them may not be like, as deep as others.
Right.
Anthony Mackie's case.
Anthony Mackie's just, hey, my dick is small.
Yeah. So I gotta get huge.
So I have to have something big somewhere else. So whether it's a wallet or something else, I just
my
need
shoulders.
something. My shoulders. Another good thing about this movie that I really liked was Michael Bay, who usually I don't like, but his direction, it was awesome. Really good. Like all the cinematography, like in his other movies, when it goes into slow motion, it's like, okay, you guys can stop that. You can play at double speed.
I like what they did.
But here, it's like, okay, it's stylish. It actually works.
They use it to I feel like he used it to attempt some like comedic points.
Yeah, that's true.
When he got, I'm not gonna say what happens, but
right.
Like he uses his slow motion and effects for like different, themes and direction, which is awesome. Not just explosions everywhere. But
all the camera work is really good. There's this one shot that I love where it kept going like, okay, there's a room, and the camera would go like outside the room and back into the room through like
the continuous shot.
Yeah, and it just kept going like that. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah. It made it feel like a whole, like not just a scene,
right?
Not just a set. Like you got a taste of the whole environment.
And I'm not sure if you were paying attention to the soundtrack at all, but I really liked the soundtrack.
Dude, the soundtrack was awesome.
It had that like
it made me want to work out.
Miami Vice type.
It had that Miami
pop
feel
to it, but with like some metal in it too. I don't know. It was just really it fit really well.
It was the 90s, dude.
Well composed. I know, but still.
Which makes for a even better soundtrack.
Yeah, but anytime anyone thinks of Miami, they always think of the 80s. At least I feel.
Oh yeah, I was gonna bring up Vice City.
But with the good, there's always some bad. And with this movie, I think it was some of the dialogue was just really like, okay, this is...
Yeah, it got kind of dry at some points.
This is what people say.
But it's like, you could see how some of that dialogue was necessary.
Some of the written jokes, I feel, weren't as funny as the jokes where you can tell they just thought of it on the spot. Yeah. Like, that's what makes... Anthony Mackie's so funny. It's the fact that you can tell he's like improvising a lot of this.
Yeah, you can tell it's got like a very awkward delivery.
Yeah,
which is hilarious. Awkwardness is always hilarious.
But I didn't like that aspect about it. I thought some scenes could have been cut because this kind of a long movie.
Yeah,
it's like 2 hours and 10 minutes, but it feels.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that's probably my only issue with it is that like even though it grabs your attention and there's so much stuff you could like about it, it's a really fucking long movie.
Yeah,
like,
it feels.
At one point, I was like, God damn, when's it gonna end? But it was. I liked it though. It was.
Yeah, but it's still such a good story because it's like this is just crazy, and I can't believe this happens. But it still grabs you.
See, like this is one of those movies where like I could see that it was a true. Like some movies, like when they say like it's a true story, I'll just be like, totally see this. What part of this was real? Maybe the cars or something like. I highly doubt the story was real.
Well, that was my thing. Like, in the first trailer that they ever showed, where it just seemed like any other kind of action comedy.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, what part of this is real? The fact that some people like to lift weights, that's true, yes.
I know people like that.
But no, you watch, it's like, okay, this actually happened. And that's what makes it even more interesting. The fact that, holy fuck, this happened.
This is real. Yeah, it actually feels real because of, like, how dark it gets.
Yeah. But those are like my two gripes with it. Even though they're small complaints, I still felt them a lot. So when there was bad dialogue or a scene that just like, come on, let's move along, it really like hit me like, you guys need to fix this because you guys were doing so good up until this point, and then you guys kept doing good, and then you guys would like kind of fuck up again. But hey, we criticize movies. That's just what we do.
That's what we do. We're not experts.
No, we just like to go see movies. I paid my money, so it's gonna hear how I feel about it.
As it should, man.
As it should. But besides that, I really, really like this movie enough to.
I wouldn't see it again though. Like maybe I'll like continuously think about it. Like that was a good movie, but I wouldn't see it again.
It's too heavy to the point where I wouldn't want to see it again, just because like fuck, man. Like I mean, it's still funny, but like near the last part of it, I was kind of just like, I don't even know what I can laugh at and what I can't, because this is just so fucked up. What's going on? Like there were some jokes where it's like, is this supposed to be funny? Because if it is, I just feel bad for laughing.
Yeah, it tries to involve a little crude humor. You can tell, like, obviously the writing is a little, like, uncomfortable with it, because they shift to it.
And then stuff like that. It's like, okay, I'll laugh at a lot of jokes, but when it goes into, like...
If it drags on.
Like, body humor or, like, crap humor. And I mean, like, literal, like, shit humor. But it's like stuff like that. It's like, oh, okay.
See, no, I thought that was hilarious, because they went to a point where, like, most people get uncomfortable. And I think getting a mixed reaction from the audience makes the movie like that much better, because it's like shit. Dude, I can't believe it went there.
I see your point. I just thought it was like a little unnecessary,
dude. Because that audience was like genuinely grossed out by.
There was like 8 of us, but it was still a pretty good audience. Yeah, they were genuinely.
I think we might have been the loudest there though.
Yeah, because
just from some of the stuff like we saw.
No, but one guy did tell me like, shh. It was at the part where like something happens where I don't expect it. I was like, holy shit. And so it was just like, shh.
Yeah, I kind of picked up on that. I was just like, shut up, man. Like,
turned around, I was like, bitch, what's wrong with your lips? But besides that, I mean, it's still a good movie to the point where I would recommend it. It's one of Michael Bay's best movies, and all the performances are really good. Dwayne Johnson especially, at least for me.
it's not a standout performance, but it allows him to act in a not so, like, how do I put this? Like, most of his movies where, like, everybody says, like, yeah, he did a good job acting are, like, very serious, dark movies, like, what was that one movie?
Faster?
Is that it? Like, where he has to drive a semi, like, gets involved in, like, drugs and stuff.
No, that's, Snitch.
Yeah, I saw that, and I thought he did a good job in that acting for the role, but, like, this movie, that's not it. Well, it gets dark.
Johnson. That's that shit I don't
dude.
like.
Why are you listening to Chief Keef?
It's just that one phrase.
Like, that's like coke for the brain.
Dude, I don't like it.
Like, it's good for a while, but then it, like...
It's never
fucking
good
destroys
for a while. Dude,
you.
Chief Keef, if there's anything Chief Keef is good for, it's not your brain.
What the hell is he good for?
Nothing, apparently. No, but Dwayne Johnson in Faster was also pretty good. You see that one?
I didn't see that, though.
Where he plays the Terminator?
I mean, like,
he walks into an office building and just shoots someone in the head and just walks away.
See, like, at one point, I thought that was going to happen in this movie. But, like, it's, like we said, it's not that serious of a movie throughout it.
But that's actually, like, another kind of cool thing about it is the fact that it was never to a point where it's like, okay, I know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
like,
dude, I know what you're talking about.
Like, it kept taking, like, little twists to the point where it's like, oh, shit, things are fucked up now. Like, how are they going to get out of this one? And stuff like that.
I think, like, the characters...
It gets pretty tense.
The characters and, like, the way the actors portrayed them, it was, like, really effective in, like, allowing that. Because, like, Anthony Mackie is, like each of the three main characters is, like, completely different from one another.
They're completely different, but they're all idiots, which is kind of what makes it funny.
Yeah, dude, and like the film, like it keeps pointing, like it keeps making fun of the fact that they're stupid.
It will like freeze frame and like make fun of them. Well, that's another aspect of the film though that I didn't go into. Is the fact that it's basically the Three Stooges trying to commit a heist.
It's basically the Three Stooges modernized somewhat and rated R.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
But it's a really funny movie. I liked it. I didn't love it, but I like it enough to give it 3 out of 4.
Shit.
That
was literally going to be my rating.
It could still be your rating, man.
I think I might have enjoyed it a little more than you, though. I wouldn't go as far as to give it 4 stars, obviously.
Right.
So
go ahead, keep talking. That's fine.
I'll just give it 3.5, I guess, if we're allowed to do halves.
You said and I thought you were gonna come up with a number. It's like Marive, like what? What? Yeah, 3.5. That's a rating. We do halves.
All right, cool.
All right. Well, Jeff, you better slow down on those steroids so your voice can get back to its.
I'm no longer Jeff. Oh no, I am Jeff now. I'm no longer Chief.
You had successfully acquired every asset you had.
What happens now?
Now I go to work.
I gotta get a pump.
That's it. It's good. It hurts. I know it does. That's it. Get it. You said no violence.
And I meant it when I said it, I swear to God.
I cannot kill.
Duly noted. Look, when this is over, we'll all go camping, all right?
Okay.